Good evening. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry about not getting a video in for the last couple days. Just trying to get stuff in order. Today I have another pepper provided by my Uncle Brandon. I believe this one, it could be one of two things. So per the packaging that he had, this should fall within that Ghost Scorpion Trinidad realm. But it also looks very close to a habanero. So today's pepper is what I believe is a chocolate Trinidad Scorpion. I will find out essentially when I taste, because the heat levels in those are all very, very different. The habanero's going to be sub 1 million. The Scorpion would be over 1 million. And from what I've heard, this pepper hits pretty decent. So we will have to give it a whirl and see how it is. So I know I did get to try a sliver of kind of the membrane of this bad boy. Well, not this pepper, but one of the peppers. And it definitely had some heat. So I look forward to this half pod and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so if you could see in there, a ton of oil already. Beautiful coloring, nice thick membrane through there. I felt my thumb touch in there a couple times, so that will be fun if I touch my face. And then another big thing that I want to show is there is a slight color difference between my two cameras. But that is also kind of what it looks like. The pod is definitely a nice, very beautiful chocolate, where here did look a little bit darker, but of course once we get that bad boy split open, it shows those beautiful colors. So, oops, there we go. So I guess there is nothing left to do but give this bad boy a whirl. So there we go. Cheers, and here we go. Pretty good pod size. Woo. So, just a lot of pepper. So, the overall flavor, beyond getting really warm already, it's actually pretty sweet, with a slight smokiness to it, which I really believe is more that chocolate variant. But definitely a pretty toasty pepper already. So I had a little bit of heat right off the bat, and with that, stayed kind of centralized. As I was chewing, it kind of just sat right there on that very, very base level. Now, as it's going, it's continuing to build, and this is very much that same pattern that I got with the small bit of membrane. It is definitely one that is going to continue to build and build and build. So with that, we'll kind of ride this one out for a few minutes and see where it goes. Right now, all the burn is right there on the tip of the tongue, and I feel a little bit in the stomach. Not that full fire, but definitely a warmth through the stomach. And I can see a little bit of glistening through the face already. It is a pretty hot pepper. Nowhere near some of the ridiculously hot ones that I've had. But again, every pepper kind of hits differently. Well, there are some that, like I've talked about, some of them hit the tongue, some through the throat, some the gut, some the cheeks, the jaw. Some of them made my ears ring. Some of them just make me break out in sweat. Some of them make me salivate. All depending on what really that pepper is can totally change. And there are certain peppers that, will be a lower Scoville, but due to how it hits, it's going to be far hotter or less so. Because much like think of like pressure, we'll give kind of a poke, for example. A poke is just a very quick jab and usually causes us to have that reflex of a flinch. Same thing with heat. Heat hits you very, very quick, you're going to flinch. You're going to have that reaction of going, where something that builds, if it's just getting hotter and hotter and hotter over time, as your body is trying to adapt to it, it's also acknowledging that it's increasing. And while that end result may be much, much hotter, due to it hitting over a longer period of time, is more like a push or a shove versus that poke. And with that, like every pot is just so different. So at this point, tip the tongues on fire, a little bit around the sides of the tongue. Again, stomach's warm, but not bad. Maybe a little more sweat, but realistically, it's hot, but it's not like the one I had the other day where I was reaching for my drink. So I would say this is probably a 4 or a 5. So it is definitely right around that scorpion level. I got little bits that are still stuck in it. Just those little pinpoint spots are just on fire in my gums. Yeah, so I look forward to hopefully getting a couple more videos in this week. I do have some more gifts on the way, so I'm super excited about that. There is a company called Wicked Cuts, which for me, I absolutely love because, well, wicked. And I'm really excited to try it. The advertisement for it's kind of funny. Big old buff dude screaming and yelling because of how hot it is. That kind of stuff excites me. I've had a couple other things that have been talked about. I know there's supposed to be a ridiculously hot piece of chocolate that potentially is on the way. I'm trying to think what else. Maybe another box of peppers. I'm not quite sure yet. My challenge is I've had a really hard time with the storage of my peppers. So really when I get them, I have them for 10, 12 days. And some of them naturally start drying out, but a lot of super hots have a harder time naturally drying. So the challenge that I run into is either I sit with the peppers and hope I get them before they turn bad, or hope they naturally dehydrate, or I have to force that dehydration. Of course, when I force that dehydration, maybe, who knows, maybe I might do a dehydrated pepper one of these days. That way I can still get the use out of it. It just won't, it'll have a different crunch. So that might be something I do here really soon, but I don't want to see these peppers going bad, so I will probably have to chop them up pretty soon. Which sucks. Got quite a few peppers right now that I've intended to eat, but due to one thing or another with personal life, I just haven't got to yet. So hopefully we'll get to another scorpion tomorrow from Death Ridge Peppers. That is at least the goal. And thank you all for watching. I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you again tomorrow.